It's Athena at Gluten and today I made a honey glazed duck. I was going for a Cantonese crispy Peking duck style, but I didn't fully follow the instructions because a lot of the equipment I didn't have and a lot of the seasoning I just didn't want to use. So what I did was I put together a honey vinegar glaze that I basted the duck with at the end, and this is how it turned out.
What you choose to put inside of your duck sets the tone for the taste. So I don't like the traditional Cantonese or Peking duck ingredients. I don't particularly care for the taste of five spice, but what I did keep from some of the traditional Chinese recipes was the sliced ginger, scallions, and garlic. I saw one recipe that said you could slice up an apple, and I had a leftover Asian pear, so I decided to use that instead. The key is that a duck's stomach is not very big, so you want to be careful to make sure you don't overstuff it. And I'm not planning to eat the inside of the cavity, you just want to make sure it's as small as possible. And then I'm going with a dry brine of white pepper, brown sugar, and finely ground Himalayan sea salt. This is my second time cooking duck, and I have always bought them from Aldi. They are very reliable in terms of having duck around the holidays. The duck comes with instructions. It states that at 350 degrees you cook it for 30 minutes per pound, but I learned the first time not to do that because you will overcook the duck. So this duck does not come with the head attached, but you do want to remove the neck. Some recipes say to keep the neck on, and you can use the neck to hold it while you're doing the hot water vinegar brine, but I just went ahead and tossed it. You could also use it to make a gravy, but I didn't feel like doing all of that. And it also comes with its own glazed pocket in the cavity, so you want to make sure you remove that before you start cleaning. And I didn't check the ingredient list, but since I'm gluten-free, I always avoid pre-seasoned mixes. So you want to clean your duck thoroughly. The hardest part is trying to get the feathers off. It's a little bit harder than getting feathers off of chicken. The second time you want to rinse it with some vinegar, just making sure you're rubbing it down, getting all in the cracks and crevices. And once you're satisfied that your bird is clean, you want to thoroughly towel it dry with a bunch of paper towels. And also you're supposed to cut this little wingette off because it burns in the oven even when you cover it with aluminum foil. So I may have made a mistake by seasoning the cavity first before I went ahead and separated the skin from the meat. But you want to start by adding your dry brine and then adding the aromatics, being careful not to overstuff it. But before you do the cavity, you want to take your finger and carefully separate the meat from the skin, and then do the cavity, and then seal it up with either a metal or bamboo skewer like I have right here. You kind of want the skin to fold together so that it overlaps, and you want to make sure that you don't have any hole openings. So I ended up using just one skewer that I cut in half, and then using the pointed end again, I went through and tried to close up the areas where there were holes, and just take a scissor and cut off the excess bamboo. Then you just want to make sure that you are rubbing the dry brine on the inside and outside of the skin. Just think of it as rubbing lotion all over your body. You just want to make sure you get everywhere. Just make sure everything is fully covered. And then you're just gonna let this sit in the fridge overnight or for at least 6 hours. But it's better if you can wait and do it overnight. So this is what my duck looks like the next day. I am sticking my fingers in there, trying to make sure I did the best job that I could in separating the meat from the skin. And then I'm gonna go in with a hot water bath. You wanna cover both sides with 4 cups of boiling hot water like I'm doing so, and you can see the skin starting to tighten up. Then I'm going in on the other side with another 4 cups of boiling hot water. And then I'm gonna make my vinegar brine. I'm using rice vinegar, and the Cantonese recipes say you're supposed to use a Chinese wine, but I decided to go with a dry champagne vinegar. And I'm mixing that with some raw honey, giving it a good stir, and then I'm adding that to 8 cups of boiling water and doing the same thing, giving the duck another bath, this time with the vinegar and raw honey mixture. So the reason why the duck takes so long is the preparation process. It's basically 2 days of prep. I did the dry brine and let that sit in the fridge overnight. And then this hot water vinegar bath that I did, that was a whole process that didn't really take long, but then you're supposed to wait for the duck to dry. You want the duck to be as dry as possible. Some recipes said to use the dehydrator. I didn't have that. Others say you should let it go for 24 hours. I let my duck dry for 18, and this is what it looked like the very next day. You want to be sure to wrap the legs and the wings in foil, or else they will burn. And as you can see, I'm using an elevated rack, so you may need to lower the rack in your oven just so that your duck is not rubbing the top. The oven timer is going to be your best friend. You're going to cook it at a high heat for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then reduce to 350 for another 20 minutes. Take it out, flip the duck over, put it back in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. Take it out, and then you're going to hit it with this raw honey and apple cider vinegar marinade. It's really simple, just a little bit of honey, some apple cider vinegar seasoned with sea salt and black pepper. Take the duck out once the timer goes off, and glaze it with this mixture on the back side. Place it back in for a final 20 minutes. Then take it out, flip it back over, breast side up, glaze it with this sauce for another 20 minutes. And once the timer goes off, this is what your duck should look like. You want to make sure you don't overcook it. That's why I went for 20 minutes at a time versus 30 minutes per pound. And this is an absolutely beautiful, nice golden brown color that you're gonna get. As you can see, not only does this bird look good on the outside, it's also nice and juicy on the inside. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching my video. I absolutely promise you this recipe does not disappoint.